What strikes me, the government's going to whack you with two things, or you're going to be whacked with two things. Not all of it's the government. One is potential rate cuts at the end of the year, and the other is a big cost of living package in the budget. Do you think that could set your political prospects back, any of that?
Yeah, look, a lot of people, as we were saying, are really feeling the pinch. Real disposable incomes have come back a long way in the last 18 months. If you're on a $100,000 salary, your real disposable income has dropped around $8,000. Now, that's not coming back, even if inflation does slow down. We all want to see inflation come back to band. But the problem is it's staying higher for longer because of the decisions that this government is making. If inflation stays higher for longer, then interest rates stay higher for longer. And interest rates, particularly in a place like Dunkley, which is a big mortgage belt, are a real problem down there. So, I actually think that even if things, the statistics improve, that doesn't necessarily mean that prices are coming down. Prices are still up way too high.
Do you think when it comes to election time, you'll get rid of you'll pledge to get rid of the 37-cent rate of tax?
Well, we made it pretty clear now that the stage 3 tax cuts, as originally legislated, have been junked. This was genuine reform. Getting rid of that entire tax bracket was a significant change to our tax system, and clearly the Labor government have no appetite for genuine reform of the personal income tax system. So, unfortunately, it cannot go ahead the way it was originally legislated. We are committed to lower and simpler and fairer taxes. We are committed to addressing bracket creep. Can we do it in the same way? No, we literally cannot, because they were due to start on the 1st of July 2024. But we will go to the next election with a tax package that is in keeping with the principles of the stage 3
What about
tax
indexing tax brackets? Do you think that's doable?
Well, I don't think that there's an enormous appetite to index tax brackets right now. But what I will say is that I can commit that we will go to the next election with a tax package that delivers lower and simpler and fairer taxes, because that is the only way that we're going to be able to inject that aspiration back into the economy. And let's face it, economic growth is essentially at a standstill. Productivity is going backwards. We have sucked the aspiration out of our society and out of our economy. That's a failure of this government, and it's something that the Liberals won't abide by.
All right. The other thing is you can be caught on the hop later this year if the economic circumstances go the government's way in terms of an early election. So when does the policy rollout happen for you guys? Is it Peter Dutton's budget reply speech where we start seeing a lot of policy?
Well, I would love to be able to announce all of our policies right here, right now on Sunday morning agenda with you, Andrew, but unfortunately I won't be doing that. Look, the policy process is well underway and has been for some time through Shadow Cabinet and Shadow ERC, as you would imagine. It's a pretty organised process. I'll watch this space.
But should we watch budget reply speech more than other budget reply speech?
You should always watch the budget reply speech. It's a very important speech.
All right. Does this nuclear energy policy risk almost everything for the coalition if Labor launches a scare campaign around it?
Well, I mean, I think Labor are pretty good at organising scare campaigns. We've seen that many times before. But, quite frankly, what they've done with their energy policy is put, ideology ahead of price. People are paying way too much for their electricity bills, way too much for their gas bills. Cheap and affordable energy has been, one of the foundations of particularly my state of Victoria's economic prosperity for decades. That's been cast aside. At some stage, if we're going to reach net zero emissions, we're going to need to do so in a way that ordinary Australians can afford. Nuclear energy is one option. We're not saying it's the only option, but why would you not consider it as part of your energy mix? It seems nothing but ideological belligerence not to.